What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Friday edition of the NFL Fantasy Q&A show. I am Marcus Grant. He is Michael F. Florian. Over there, we've got the specialist, cast of dozens that help us put on this show each and every day, each and every week. And Week 16 is officially underway. We'll dive into the game in just a little bit, but I know you're contesting in some playoff matchups. I don't think I had anybody going last night, but I know you did. And I don't think it was great.
It did not go well at all. But the good thing is the other option I was considering was, because it was Zay Jones, but the other option was Bam Knight, and they combined had less than 5 points total. So
all right, so
either way, bad.
So either way, it was going to be bad for you. I guess there's some solace to that. I don't know. But we're going to get through a whole lot in this show. Of course, it is a show dedicated to answering your questions that you send us on Twitter at NFL Fantasy. We answer as many of them as we can here. The rest of them go to our pal Aaron Tan because he doesn't like cabbage. You just have to eat a green vegetable. It's week 16, bro. It's December. Try one for the new year. New year, new you. You can try some vegetables. It'll be great. In the meantime, you have Q's, we have A's, LFG. Let's start with last night's game. The Jaguars keep their playoff hopes alive with a 19-3 win over the Jets in the wind and the rain at MetLife Stadium. Trevor Lawrence continuing his nice run of play. 18.3 fantasy points for him. The rushing touchdown definitely helped out a lot. Travis Etienne, not a bad night, all things considered, just over 14 points there. Evan Ingram having the big receiving day for the Jags, 18.3 for him. On the Jets side, it was all bad. Zach Wilson, 1.8 fantasy points, eventually was benched for Chris Streveler. Zonovan Knight, as you mentioned, just under 2.5 fantasy points for him. Garrett Wilson, that was your points leader for the Jetropolitans. 5 fantasy points, lost a fumble, which made what was a tough night even worse. But let's dive into some of the individuals there. You mentioned Zay Jones and had been playing really, really well. He was pretty much a ghost last night.
Yeah, for as good as he played last week, that was as poor as it was last night. And, yeah, I mean, 2 drops. That drop right there was kind of rough. The carry he had went for negative yards. The one catch, he had 11 yards. It wasn't great at all, but I wanted to talk about him just to be like, one, it was kind of circumstantial. The Jags didn't have to throw a whole bunch. The game was kind of out of reach once they had more than 3 points. It was bad weather, tough Jets secondary, especially out wide. I would go back to Zay Jones next week, and hopefully, he saved me from a couple of bad Saturday performances last week, so now someone else has to pick up the slack and save Zay Jones this week.
That's the whole point of a team, right? Together, everyone achieves more. So Zay Jones couldn't get it done, so somebody else on your roster hopefully picks things up. Meanwhile, the guy who did a lot of the work in the passing game on Thursday night was Evan Ingram, who really is in the midst of the season that we always thought Evan Ingram could have all those years with the Giants. And I think a big part of what you saw on Thursday night was the fact that Trevor Lawrence was just trying to get the ball out quickly as much as possible, try to avoid the pass rush, and try to generally stay away from Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. And so that meant a lot of opportunities for Evan Ingram. He's a top 5 tight end, and I don't expect that to change over the next couple of weeks as we wrap up the fantasy season here. I think the next question becomes, where are we looking for Evan Ingram in drafts next year? Do we draft him? I won't say as a top 5 guy, but I think he's easily drafted as a top 10 guy next year.
I think so, and the only thing I'm hoping, because he's on a 1-year deal right now, just bring him back, him and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence looks every bit the generational talent. He's come into his own fully. And the scary thing is you could have Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and Calvin Ridley in this offense. So that's going to be a fun one to watch next year.
And that's not even mentioning Travis Etienne, who had a pretty good night last night, too. So, yeah, this offense can be very loaded potentially in 2023. Let's get to some of your questions that you sent us on the Twitter machine. This one from Super Bowl Grazen 15, who wants to know, is Hurts droppable out this week and nothing to play for next week? What do you think?
No, not at all. Just on the one, he was trying to play this week, and if the Eagles win this game, then maybe they change how their approach, and they're like, all right, we don't got to rush him back. But if the Eagles lose this game, they still need to win a game to clinch the division, to clinch the 1 seed. So I definitely think we could see Jalen Hurts. There's far too much upside. Plus, at this point in the year, I feel like that would be bad karma. You'd cut him, and the fantasy gods or whoever it is that look over our lineups would make you pay.
I absolutely do not drop Jalen Hurts at this point. I don't care if he never plays another snap for the rest of the regular season. I think you just hold on to him because, as you said, you don't want somebody else, your opponent maybe, to pick him up in the final week. And if you somehow survive, you have to go against Jalen Hurts. As you mentioned, if the Eagles lose, they still have something to play for. Plus, just the fact that it's week 16, which means you have week 17, you have week 18. If he's healthy, I don't think that Nick Sirianni wants to hold his starting quarterback out for potentially 3 weeks before getting him back in. So I think you hold on to Jalen Hurts at this point. Next one from Chris, who asks, Jacoby Myers or Hollywood Brown? Does Belichick let Myers even touch the field next week after his unfortunate pass to Chandler Jones?
Yes, he's going to see the field. Bill Belichick doesn't have a choice. Jacoby Myers, I would argue, is their best move the chains receiver. The only thing is there's not a lot of big play ability as of late, and the volume has kind of gone down. And as Patrick Claybon has pointed out this week, Mac Jones has thrown one pass into the end zone this year, completed one. So because of that, I don't want either of these guys in my starting lineup, but I guess I would take Hollywood Brown and just hope that he could catch a long ball, maybe a touchdown.
I see that. Marquise Brown with the 8 targets in 8 straight games. And maybe we know he's going to be working with Trace McSorley, so that on itself is not going to be particularly great. On the other side, I would probably go with Jacoby Myers. I don't love that one either. So while you're hoping for Hollywood to maybe catch a long one, I'm sort of hoping Myers gets volume and gets a whole lot of targets. So you're looking at, I think, a similar output for both these guys. It may just happen in very different ways. I don't love either one of these options. I think they go with Myers, but
I have both as a sit in the start sit, so not.
It's not great, Chris. I'm sorry about your situation there. Next one from William. I currently have Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen as my starting wide receiver. Better sleeper options or stick with them?
I say you stick with them. We're at the point of the year, like, maybe if, like, a Darius Slayton was out there, I could be convinced to go that route. But, like, I'm not picking up, like, a Chris Moore and starting them over these guys. Keenan Allen, I think, is a lock in your lineup. Mike Evans, he got more volume and yards last week than he's seen in a while. I know it hasn't been what we expected for these two number 13 wearing wide receivers, but I think you have to start them both.
Yeah, I absolutely stick with Keenan Allen. I mean, he's just getting a ton of targets. You see that, the 12 targets in the last 3 weeks. 12 targets per game, I guess I should say. But that part makes me feel okay with Keenan Allen. Mike Evans has been the one who's been questionable, but I just love the matchup this week against Arizona. So I think this is a good week to have him in there, and I'm with you. I don't know that I would go play the waiver wire over those two guys in this one. We are just getting going here on the show. We're going to be talking some sleepers and more of your questions coming up here on the Fantasy Q&A show. It's time for Game Changers, presented by Visa. Anyone can change the game. This is where we talk some sleepers. So who is yours for Week 16?
If you might be sick of me talking about this player by now, but I really like Darius Slayton this week, and I would be starting him where I have him if I was in need of a sleeper or a flex or anything like that. I know the last 2 weeks haven't been great, but before that, he was playing really good football, and this is about the matchup. They're in the top 3 in fantasy points allowed to receivers. They lead the league in yards to out wide receivers. They give up a bunch of production downfield as well, so Slayton being the Giants' best outside receiver, being their best downfield threat, I expect a lot of opportunity to go his way, and especially if it's a game where the Giants are chasing points or needing to keep up with the Vikings' offense. Plus, this is one of the few games where you don't have to worry about weather. Like, there's a lot of reasons to get behind Darius Slayton.
Yeah, I like Slayton. I also like Danny Dimes potentially as a streamer this week against Minnesota. I'm going to go with Cam Akers, and I've been saying it all week. Like, these words could come back to bite me, but I'm going to go with this because he really is the best remaining playmaker that the Rams have, and I think Sean McVay has realized that. And as much as they have sort of, had their differences, I guess, this season, I think they kind of realize that this is their best chance. And so with the Rams struggling to throw the football and facing a defense that really, in the Broncos, that has been just sort of run-of-the-mill against running backs, I think there's an opportunity for volume. I don't think the ceiling is very high, but I do think he can get you, maybe 80 scrimmage yards and hopefully a touchdown and sort of help out with his fantasy production. Let's get to some more of your questions from the Twitter machine. This first one coming up from Mo, who wants to know, should I stick with Devonta Smith if Jalen Hurts is out? Well, we know Jalen Hurts is out, so that part is already settled. But does he stick with Devonta Smith?
I think so, unless, it always depends on your options, though, at this point in the season. Like, again, if you have a Darius Slayton, sure, I'm cool playing him, but I still think Smith is very much so in play. I think the floor is lower than what it is with Jalen Hurts, but he still brings similar upside because he can win downfield with the best of them. And this Cowboys secondary, while they can force turnovers and stuff, they still do give up a lot of production, especially downfield. So his floor, again, no Hurts, with Goddard back as well, both a little bit lower, but I still think he brings high upside.
Last week, I said, I didn't say to sit Devonta Smith, but I said I was mostly worried about him against the Bears. I thought that the Eagles would run the football more, and he still went out and had a really good game. So I think you're okay with Devonta Smith. But like I said, it does depend on who your options are. But right now, I think he's playing really well. Move over to this one from Knowlton Coles, which I just want to call him Colton Knowles. Anyway, Juwan Johnson or Gerald Everett?
Juwan Johnson. I mean, the guy's been averaging close to 15 fantasy points per game since week 7. And for a while, it was like, all right, yeah, he's got a whole bunch of touchdowns in this span, but his floor isn't really safe besides that. And I think that is starting to change. Like, yeah, 12 of his 23 fantasy points last week came on touchdowns, but the rest came on catches and yards, and he led the team in targets and receiving yards. He's been more utilized as of late, even including the games he missed. Before that, he was starting to get more volume. And now there's no Olave, there's no Jarvis Landry. This guy could see double-digit targets. Not many tight ends could do that.
I'm very curious to see what the Saints are going to scheme up for him because, as you mentioned, with no Olave, no Jarvis Landry, they're going to have to get the ball to somebody. I do think, I hope this means more Alvin Kamara. By the way, just go check out my Twitter account. I posted my Festivus airing of grievances that had to do with the Saints and Alvin Kamara. But I like Juwan Johnson a lot this week.
Do you know what I just was reminded of?
What's that?
Remember Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I thought about him a couple days ago. I was like, remember Michael Thomas? Those were the days. Slant boy. Holt Krogan wants to know, do I start Brian Robinson or Chuba Hubbard? Which is just a fun name to say, by the way.
It is one of the most fun names
Chuba
in
Hubbard.
Football. I'm going to go with the guy with the big hat, though. Like, if he was with us, his Santa hat would be, like, massive right now. I do not love Brian Robinson at all this week. In fact, I have him as a sit. I'm telling a lot of people to get away from him. But at the very least, I feel like 10-plus touches is in his range of possibility. Maybe he could break one or score a touchdown. I don't really think either one of them bring much upside. I just think Robinson is a little bit safer.
I don't love either one of them either. I'm gonna go Chuba Hubbard, but I don't know. I'm not pounding the table for Chuba Hubbard right now.
He's been playing well.
He's playing well. He is playing well. And the Panthers are loading him up with touches. I think the concern being, though, that you got the Lions who have been playing so much better in the run defense side of things. So that sort of worries me a little bit. And Deontay Foreman is still there. So I'm not really thrilled with either. I would go Chuba Hubbard, but we've split the vote here. So my next advice is to flip a coin or grab a Magic 8 Ball or something like that. And we're going to figure out which guy you want to start coming up this week. Up next, we have a preview of Monday Night Football. Plus, we'll take a trip around the World Wide Web. Stick with us here on the Fantasy Q&A Show. Peeking ahead to Monday Night Football, it's the Chargers in Indianapolis visiting the Colts. Another one of those games that won't have to deal with weather because they'll be playing inside a dome. On the Chargers side, who do you have your eye on here?
Mike Williams, and I know he disappointed you last week. It was a great matchup on paper. Him and Justin Herbert both just disappointed. And this week, your fantasy app, if you're looking to set your lineup, it's going to say it is a hard matchup because the Colts are towards the bottom of the league in fantasy points allowed. 2 wide receivers. I don't care. I still think Mike Williams is just someone that you have to start each and every week. The upside is far too high. We saw that when he returned a couple of weeks ago. And this is like the Chargers are in must-win territory now, and the Colts are bad. I expect the Chargers to have a bounce-back game this week.
So pretty much all those things you said about Mike Williams, I would apply them to Justin Herbert. He wasn't great last week when we thought he would be against the Tennessee Titans, but this week he goes on the road in a big situation for the Chargers, and they need a win. They need him to play well, and it's hard to envision a scenario where you've got somebody that maybe has more upside or a higher ceiling than Justin Herbert does. So I think you get him back in your lineup. And here's the thing. Even though the Chargers didn't score a ton of points in that game and that he didn't give you a ton of fantasy points, he did throw the ball a lot and he threw it fairly effectively. He just didn't really punch it in the end zone that much. So I think you give him another shot. I think you try him against the Colts, even if the matchup on paper isn't great. Plus, the Colts have been officially eliminated from playoff contention. I think they have emotionally been eliminated for a while, but mathematically now they're done. So we'll see if that makes a difference there. But they do have to still play the game. So on the Colts side, who are you looking at here?
Michael Pittman Jr., and a lot of people are wondering what to do with him, and there's a lot of question marks. New quarterback. The offense has been struggling, but it is a good matchup against the Chargers. I think the Colts will be playing from behind, which probably leads to volume. Pittman is the ultimate, it depends on your situation. I have him in multiple leagues. In one, it's a 10-team league. I have better options. I'm sitting him. A 12-team league, I don't really love anyone on my bench. I'm just going to take the gamble and get Michael Pittman Jr. still in that lineup.
I'm going to go with Zach Moss here. He stepped in last week after the Jonathan Taylor injury and played really well. Had over 80 rushing yards there. You see the 24 rushing attempts. So I do think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. He's got a good matchup against a bad Chargers run defense. And while I think LA wins this game, I don't think they run away because that's just not the Charger way. They tend to keep both teams in the game all day long. So I think that means Zach Moss not very likely to get game scripted out. So I think he's got some sleeper potential in Week 16. Let's go to some more of your questions. Try to rip through these rapid fire as we get close to the end of the show. B wants to know, start Herbert or Geno?
I'm going to go with the Pro Bowler there because that's Geno Smith, by the way. I think there could be more points there, and he's going to have to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. It's a lot harder than keeping up with the Colts.
I said there are a handful of guys that, you would probably want to start over Justin Herbert. I think Geno is one of them because I think the Chiefs and Seahawks are going to go back and forth and score a lot more points in that one. Next one from JL Kraft, Darren Waller or Chig Okonkwo?
Give me Darren Waller. He played great last week. I think he'll get more work this week. And Okonkwo loses some of his shine because Trey Burks is back.
Trey Burks is back, and I'm not sure about how the Malik Willis connection is going to work,
true.
too, with Ryan Tannehill there. So I'm all about Darren Waller in that one. Dan wants to know, is it okay to drop all of your players if you're out of the playoffs? I figured if I can't be in the dance, I might as well have a little fun. No, man.
No. And if someone tries that, the commissioner should put him back on the team and lock the roster. That's just giving an unfair advantage. That's like being like, hey, now make 2 super teams and go at it for a championship. That's not what we play for.
Generally, you just kind of want to lock rosters once you get to the playoffs. And, you have your playoff teams that can make waiver wire ads if they need to, but everybody else, if you're in a consolation bowl, play it out. And if, you're done, then sit back and just enjoy football for the next couple of weeks. I think is the way to go.
I did once play in a league with 2 brothers, and they had a fantasy conflict, and one missed the playoffs because of it and dropped all of his players, and it ruined the league that year.
Yeah, that's a good way to start a fight. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Hey, it is time now to take a trip around the World Wide Web. Now, last week, a video went viral of a Lions fan pass setting in the parking lot against his wife. He was wearing a Penei Sewell jersey. So now the video got to Penei Sewell, and he did a video breakdown of what he saw from this person in the parking lot. So let's take a look at what that was.
Here we go. We are here with Penei Sewell. Going to break down this fan's pass blocking form in the stadium here at MetLife over this last weekend. What do you see from here, Penei?
Oh man, I see nothing but greatness. Start off with the stance. He's loading up the inside, ready to get out of it, and let's play the video to see it. Great patience off the line, not oversetting to allow the inside move. And then as you saw right there with his left hand, great job of stabbing the nearest point, knocking the defender off his feet, having him to redirect in any way possible, and then keep the feet moving. I love it. That's a money rep.
What do you think of the wife's pass rush skills?
It's a little rough. We got to work on that a little bit. Again, you got to know who you're going against. It's a big dude with long arms. You can't get the arms on you.
Love the breakdown from Penei Sewell and him trying to be as diplomatic as possible about the pass rush as well. Trying to keep that diplomatic and trying to keep it PC. Turns out the fan is a gentleman named Matthew Marvin, who is actually draft eligible and is playing at the University of New Hampshire. So there's a chance he could end up maybe being teammates with Penei Sewell.
Lions, please wherever this guy is projected to go in the draft, because I don't know right now, but just make him your selection. Like, that would be so much full story, like, full circle, I mean.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I know Lions fans were a little upset that Sewell didn't make the Pro Bowl as an offensive lineman. I was more upset he didn't make it as a receiver.
He should have been there as a pass catcher, tight end, slot receiver, something. Get Penei Sewell to the Pro Bowl. You know what we have to do, though? Maybe we can get, I don't know if Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks, Lance Zierlein, some of the folks who do a lot of our tape breakdowns and our prospect evaluation. We gotta find out what they think about Matthew Marvin.
Oh, yeah.
And where he's
Or the tape god, Joel Smith, could...
That's right. We got the tape guy. What am I saying here? We just go next door. We just go get the tape guy, Joel Smith, to go break it down and see what Matthew Marvin has to offer for the next level. What we have to offer is what we just put out there for you on the whole show. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Of course, as always, if you subscribe to one show, you get all 5 shows all week long in your podcast feed. So check us out in the Fantasy app, on the Fast channels, and at YouTube.com. In the meantime, that'll do it for this edition of the Fantasy Q&A Show. He is Mike. I am Marcus. Happy holidays to you wherever you are. Enjoy Week 16. Good luck in the playoffs. We'll talk to you next week.